Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this next edition of a relatively new a segment here on the Autistic SuperChannel that I like to call the Power of the Prompt. In this one, the 93rd Power of the Prompt, what it does is that WordPress, which is what the Autistic Super blog is on, gives us a prompt that we need to talk about or write about and explain how this means to all of us. This one's going to be really interesting because it's something that goes with my social anxiety. Tell us about a time when you felt out of place. I want to repeat that right now. Tell us about a time when you felt out of place. Again, as I mentioned, my social anxiety makes me feel out of place anytime I'm outside of work or outside of my comfort zone. And I kind of feel, if I'm not at work or if I'm not anywhere else, I'm usually here in my bedroom or relaxing in my apartment, just being able to relax. Fellow Spectrumites will know, fellow Spectrumites, if you know that feeling where it's like you try and decompress from this social anxiety, from the anxiety of the world, about dealing with expectations, dealing with social expectations, dealing with gender expectations, all that stuff. I could tell you one time that could tell you all, dear readers and viewers and listeners, about a time when I felt out of place. I always feel out of place when I'm in a ritzy environment. When I'm in an environment where I feel like just breathing is kind of not needed. Where I kind of feel out of place when it comes to ritzy places, like places that are like and people in the city know what I'm going for, like these like high-rise studios and these places where like hotels that just feel so nice that just you being there just kind of cheapens the place a little bit. So I felt at a place there, but I've also felt at a place, ironically enough, during the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame's when before the dinner, they always have the people mingle with them. They always have the wrestlers and the inductors interact and mingle with people. I've gotten better at it because it's about professional wrestling, and I'm always about that. But I always feel out of place when I'm with celebrities, like wrestlers, like any kind of thing, because I've heard horror stories about how people will flash things at other people and get people to sign them and all those things. Like I remember a story about Jim Cornette having someone go to a meet and greet unannounced, and that's kind of the thing I want to do. That's kind of the thing. I don't want people to think that I'm intruding. Like, there are people that are like, I like to be the wallflower, if anything, on those ones, because I don't want to be like in their face, like this, like, so that they don't have some time to breathe. That's when I kind of feel out of place. But I also feel out of place, like in like new environments, or environments that I kind of feel like just my being there kind of cheapens things, like people that are wearing like suits, ties, all that stuff. And I like wearing suits and ties too, but I always kind of feel like Jack Dawson on the Titanic. I mean, imagine being in third class and then being in first class, and it's like, is this all for me? And it's like going to a dinner and feeling like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do now? What are the social expectations of this place? Again, fellow Spectrumites, if you know the feeling. Like, I always feel out of place when I'm not texting with someone. Like, I always feel out of place, like, if I'm going with the coworkers outside of work, or if people recognize me, or when people recognize me from other places in my life. And that again calls to the social anxiety. Like, one time I felt at a place, but I got myself better at it. Is at the Artist Tour. I always feel like it's a sacred space when you go to a person's house. I always kind of feel like it's always like you want to make sure that you're looking, but you don't want to step in the wrong place or have something break or anything like that. Because for me, that's the worst thing that could happen. I've gotten better at it with so many other people, like my friend Mike Chacon, and other places too. And there's one place where I could not feel out of place, and that was the late Carol Slim's house. It was a quarry house, so I'm an Irishman. If that makes any sense. Just being there just made me feel like I was welcome. I've always felt welcome in like places that are well kept, but don't feel like high rise. That feel like they're. I'm trying to think of the way to say it, but if you understand what I mean, you know what I mean. Um, I always kind of feel like I out of place, but that's also because of my social anxiety. Um, if I'm in a place where I don't know anything or I don't know anyone, I always kind of feel out of place in those places. Like, and that I hope I'm making sense to your readers and listeners. And if you have your own thoughts about it, please let me know in the comments below this video. Okay, guys, or dear readers and listeners. So that's gonna do it for this edition of the Power of the Prompts. Again, ladies and gentlemen, dear readers and listeners, if you like these videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm on Facebook, X, all that stuff, Tumblr, all that stuff. And you can check me out. You can check out all these videos on autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com. Until next time, dear readers and listeners, stay safe, stay strong, and as always, shine on.